Welcome back in, builders. Thank you for spending your risky click on this video today. We're going to be playing The Monster Breeder. This is a simulation slash management game with RPG and tactical combat. Kind of an interesting little title here. Definitely trying to do a lot with what is obviously a very small budget, but it's got a lot of cool things going on, so we're going to check it out. Let's go ahead and start us a new game. We are going to play on experience. Seems to kind of be the normal difficulty level. We don't have any cost modifiers or anything. The gameplay changes are the main character will age and die in old age. So we start as 18 years old. I don't know what this game considers old age, but we're kind of on the clock, as it were. Monsters can get crippled as a result of combat injuries, and abomination illness affects adult monsters. Abomination illness is kind of like failed chimera things. We'll see that once we get a little bit into the game. They have a banner maker that is surprisingly kind of nice looking, I have to say. This is the one I made. We're going to call our monster breeding house Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. Next, you have to pick a province. This is our first kind of gameplay choice. We have 3 areas that we could have our ruined keep, which is going to be kind of our home base. First one is Central Plains is the heart of the realm. The climate here is mild and free from extremes. There are similar proportions of insectoids, reptiles, and mammalian species. The west coast and islands are inhabited by several aquatic species not found elsewhere. The province is renowned for talented mages, while local blacksmiths are more skilled in alloying and enchanting. This area would allow us to recruit more mages, alchemists are skilled at brewing healing potions, blacksmiths are skilled in enchanting, and there are more magic staff and healing potions available. We could be from the north. The northern province is a remote and rugged frontier of the realm. It's home to mainly mammal species, but some insectoids and reptile species have also successfully adapted to the cold weather. The vegetation is also less varied, so there are fewer herbs available for local alchemists. This province is famous for its warriors and blacksmiths who make huge battle axes and two-handed swords. More warriors and blacksmiths are able to be recruited. There are fewer alchemists. Alchemists are good at brewing combat potions. Blacksmiths are skilled in forging armor, and more battle axes and two-handed weapons are available. Or, and this I think is what we're going to pick, we could be from the southern province. Most of the southern tropical territories is made up of swamps, rainforests, and volcanic ranges. Many unique insectoid and reptile species inhabit this landscape, but common mammal species are also found here. The most venomous creatures live here. Plenty of herbs and ingredients can be found in the huge swamps and jungles. This province is renowned for well-trained archers and excellent alchemists, who are masters of making poisons. There are more archers and alchemists to recruit. There are fewer blacksmiths to recruit. Alchemists are more skilled in making poison. More master smiths among blacksmiths, and more bows, poison, and light armor at local merchants. These are important choices, not only because of this, but in order to care for a creature, it's going to have a climate that it likes to be in. And so we're not going to be very good at keeping monsters who really like it cold, because we're going to be where it's very hot. And this is kind of the middle ground choice.
This was the golden age of the realm. Gladiatorial combats of beasts were never so popular, and month after month, a tournament was held in one of the monster arenas. You have decided to try your fortune in this bloody business and carve your path to wealth and fame. Don't underestimate the work to be done. It's easy to buy creatures from local hunters, but this is only the first step. Raising them costs money, and taming them is sometimes out of reach. Illnesses are common when conditions are not suitable. Pricey potions and magical artifacts are available to strengthen your creatures before they grow up. But only if you can afford the high prices at the annual Guild's Fair. Your grown monsters will fight in the arena and generate revenue, but untamed creatures can only participate in lethal tournaments and often die before you get a return on your investment. You will crossbreed your best monsters and, if you're lucky, offspring will inherit valuable traits. You are free to choose your own path. Whether you keep insectoids, reptiles, or carnivores, you need to learn the art of monster breeding.
So what I'm hearing is there's a lot of money to be made. Our next choice is there are 5 classes we can play. We can be a warrior. As a warrior, you possess valuable weapons and armor pieces to aid you in arena combat. A unique quest called manhunting is available, allowing you to track down bandits, deserters, and escaped slaves. We can be an archer. As an archer, you roam the wilderness with your pet, a hunting beast. A unique quest called hunting lets you pursue and hunt wild animals of your choice. We can be a sorcerer. You can use your magic skills to tame hatchlings and juvenile creatures and will receive a flat bonus in taming. You'll also get a blood infusion tool with transfusible blood. We can be a blacksmith. As a blacksmith, you can forge weapons and armor yourself. There's no need to hire someone else to do it. You have an imperial forge, which lets you process light steel and standard steel. A wider range and double the amount of raw materials is available. And an alchemist. As an alchemist, you can brew potions without hiring anyone for this purpose. There is a alembic set in your possession, which will increase the strength of the potions you make. Your alchemist skills will allow you to collect herbs. You have a chance to get alchemy ingredients every turn. One thing of note, if we play a combat class, as mentioned, that we can die from old age, we can also just die in combat. So we need to be careful if we go to lethal combat, because it's game over if your character dies. So very, very difficult. I've lost several characters already. If we go with one of these crafting classes, we can't go to combat. That sounds good, but you also are going to be a really strong character. We also could just hire people to do this work for us. For this playthrough, I think we're going to go with the sorcerer. Reason being, some of the insects and lizards who are native to this hot area are really hard to tame. So we're going to pick somebody who has a bonus to taming, and we're going to try to focus in on them. I do like this game actually saves the last character you built, so it's already got Babel Builder in here. Already did my stat changes that I would like to have. One thing of note, intelligence makes you develop somewhat faster during training. So for humanoids, we can actually give them like a training regimen, and this is going to speed that up. So I really feel like you're probably always going to want 100 intelligence, because even if you go with the crafting, you'll level up your crafting faster, etc. Other than that, we have health potions, strength, endurance, agility, energy, magic resistance, sorcery skill, mana. We have critical chance, counterattacks, how many times you can counterattack in a round, magic staff skill, that's our weapon. We have magic staff parry and dodge, and fears. Fears are really important. If your monster or your person is scared of what they're fighting, they'll oftentimes lose AP, and it can be crippling. Like, you just won't have enough AP to attack because you're just too scared. And if it piles up, they'll get skittish, and then finally they'll just try to start running away. And when they run away, they'll provoke attacks of opportunity, and the whole time they're not attacking back. It's really bad. It's really bad. So we need to kind of watch out our pairings. I'm not going to change anything here. This is already as good as I could get it. As a sorcerer, we can't wear any armor or anything. We'll just have one equipment slot and some potions. This is the map of the realm. We start in March. We have a calendar of annual events. So in March, it's the Druids Market. And as every turn is going to be 1 month, and it's going to move us through here. It'll show us things like Venom Whirl is a tournament. So that's the next tournament that will open up for us. I do see this seems to be randomized what the first tournament is, because my last one, it was over here, but we have this one down here. That's going to be really useful for me. Some of these are really important. Like Druids Market is a special like merchant opportunity, and we just won't get another one of those until it comes back around to March. So we need to kind of prepare our finances to be able to take advantage of various things. Guild fairs, another one that's pretty important. Yeah. Okay, over on the left-hand side, we're going to have events that come up each turn. We can click on them to interact. Egg thieves. Druids hold their annual fair in the province. Unfortunately, they were not careful enough, and 3 of their eggs were stolen. They think you can help get them back. They would be grateful. Druids hold their annual fair in the province. Unfortunately, that's repeating. Druids assume that the thieves intends to sell the eggs to a monster breeding house sooner or later. When the thieves contact you, you will need to act quickly. Seize the opportunity to buy back or retrieve the 3 eggs in combat. If you succeed, the druids will reward you with a valuable gift and offer more goods for sale next fair. Do you accept? Yes. Okay, we have the Druids Market. Let's skip that for now. Slave Warrior. Save money for important fairs. Slave traders come in the fall. Although slave warriors are not cheap, they have no wages and do not increase your monthly expenses. Treasury. Try not to take a loan in the first year. The repayments will accumulate quickly, and you will find it difficult to pay. Okay, beyond that on the map, we actually have a base. Our base is right here, kind of in the hills by the river at the edge of the jungle, kind of a cool place. Let's head to our base. This is what our base looks like when we're getting started. Just a rundown ramshackle thing. I'm gonna assume that like we either bought this or we inherited this. Either way, it's a trash heap, frankly. We're gonna need to get some facilities up and running. One thing I'm gonna do is go into my keep. My keep itself has some various rooms, and we have one that's not being used. I just know because I played a little bit of a run. I'm gonna need room for more hatchlings, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click that over there. Things of note here, there's a temperature and a moisture bar, and that's gonna influence the creatures that you're raising in those rooms. These are not very controllable. It's literally just a room in a ruined tower. We're gonna need to get some work done on those. First thing I wanna build is a hatchling cabin. A hatchling cabin is small but safe shelter to store eggs or keep hatchlings or other juvenile creatures. It protects them from extreme cold or hot temperatures and also prevents escape. You can use all the essential equipment to enhance a creature's abilities. There's one slot for runestones and can generate a magic field with one active scroll at a time. You can store a maximum of 10 eggs or juvenile creatures in it. Very, very important that we get this up and running. We'll see more about that in a while. It's gonna take me 4 turns to build it. If we had some slaves, we could have them help build it faster, but we don't have any. That's basically what we can do here. Back out here. That was base. Build a hatchling cabin as soon as possible, without you won't be able to use your stuff. Yes. Monsters. Crossbreed potion is essential to crossbreed different species. You can buy it at the guild's fair every May. No potion is needed for reproduction of related species. Check out species in the encyclopedia. And let's hit the market. Right now we have no monsters. I can't click on this. Do we have any juveniles? No, we have no juveniles. Yeah. Oh, jump me into the fair. This is Babel Builder here. Monster breeder extraordinaire. As you can see, as a mage, she doesn't have any armor slots, which is a little weird. I kind of wish he had something. We can equip a staff, and we can have 4 potions. Over here, we can set up our training. Now, because I can't actually equip any more gear, I don't need any strength, so I'm not sure why we would be training strength. So I'm going to turn that off. What these are is basically where we're going to put our efforts. And the green numbers up here is after 1 year on this schedule, what are my stats going to gain? So we're definitely going to turn that down. Endurance is pretty darn nice. Endurance is how much energy you can regain at the beginning of each turn. Some creatures really struggle with energy, some don't, so it just depends. Agility is really important because it affects the outcome of attacks, parries, dodges, and determines your number of action points. One thing with the mage, it has really crappy agility. Like, this starting agility just ain't doing it. What really helps in combat is being able to move, even if it's just 1 hex, and attack so that you can get the first hit. I think we're gonna bring the staff down. I think we're gonna bring dodge up, and we're gonna bring all of these down. This is all relative, right? So if you put everything at max, then nothing is at max. So it's a zero-sum game here. So we're gonna gain 6 agility this year. We're gonna gain a little bit of endurance, a little bit of energy, a little bit of magic resistance. Weapon skill, I really don't need that. Maybe a little bit. Can we go down a little more? Yeah, let's lower that a little more. If I'm hitting things with my staff, I've already messed up, so we'll try not to do that. Magic staff parry and a little bit of dodge. I think both of those are going to be just fine. We have level ups. We'll look at those when we actually have the level up, and we have combat stats in here. Okay, let's actually go to that market. At the market, you will always have a weapon merchant. This is, remember, influenced by which province we decided to start in. So here we have various weapons. This is also where we can get staves. I'm just gonna peek what you got. I would like to find ones that have higher accuracy, and I would like ones of different elemental type. Right now we have a fire staff. Other than that, not really useful to me at the moment. We can go to the local hunters. Here they'll sell meat from things that they've hunted, and I already just know I'm gonna want some of this, so I'm gonna grab the reptile meat and I'm gonna grab the insect meat because it's cheap. We may come back for the mammal meat, so 789 gold for that. They sell juvenile creatures and eggs, so these will not be available to fight until they grow up. but that also means I have time to raise them. So once we have some facilities, we could give them potions, we could feed them special food, we could give them blood transfusions, all kinds of things to make them stronger. We may come back in here and invest. Some of these I already see are some species I kind of like from my limited time. Hunters also sell stuff for archers. So here's a bunch of bows and some light armor and shields. Next is the alchemist store. This guy looks like a guy who's trying to sell me a potion, that's for sure. Hey kid, you want a potion? There is various supplies for making your own potions. There are poisons here, and there are potions. Do we have a decent healing potion? 12 HP. You know what? I am gonna grab that one. And 9. I'm gonna grab that one too. Not a bad idea, just in case we do have to fight, we'll have something. And our annual fair. This is the important one right now, because I can buy some adult monsters. In order to go to combat, it seems like generally speaking, you need at least 3 combatants. And right now, if I had 2 monsters and myself, if we have to go into a lethal combat and the mage gets killed, it's game over. So we really would like to buy 3 monsters here. We'll see what we rolled. So a female hunting bug has a bite attack. There's various stats in here. I think the ones to call out right now, we don't need to look at everything. What is their diet? This is their percentage of plants. Things that are herbivores are much cheaper to keep than things that are not. The type of creature, so whether they're an insectoid, a reptile, or a mammal, that'll be up here. The litter size is important once we start breeding, reproductive time. Things that don't lay eggs, you can't fight them when they're having their litters, so that can be important. Abomination illness is really, really bad, and resistance is really, really good because it lowers that. We'll talk about that more when we actually get to the point that we can enhance some monsters, but just know that resistance is really good. Other stats are the same ones we had. This is their temperature tolerance, so this guy would be okay here. Would get a little hot for him in the summer, but that's probably okay. High fears though. Some fear of human, very scared of hybrids. Yeah, I had a run where I had this really, really good creature that was an absolute scaredy cat. He would just literally never attack. It was absolutely horrible. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm gonna try to specialize a little bit in insects and reptiles at the beginning here, just because they're the things that like the climate that we're in. Although a northern lizard is not gonna like the temperature. So a reaper dragon, I like these quite a bit. I think these are pretty good. Oh, another important one is lifespan. So this reaper dragon, if it doesn't get killed, will live for about 11 years. This bug for 3, which is actually pretty good for bugs. Bugs usually have like a year and a half. So there's also some consideration about lifespan. And all these stats are things that we can influence while we're breeding our monsters. So I'm already thinking we're gonna get the reaper dragon. So we have a female reaper dragon. A glylo. What is a glylo? You have spiny skin. Okay. So you're like a defensive thing. You're an herbivore. Yeah, look at this. 25 upkeep versus 140 for the hunter bug. There's definitely something to be said about that, especially in this early game where we're going to struggle on money quite hard. A Rhydorian. Yeah, this Rhydorian species is the one I had those horrible problems with. I don't know if he was just particularly cowardly. Yeah, look at this. He's really scared of insects. And reptiles and mammals. I'm not so sure about this species, if I'm being honest. And a spotted wolf. Okay, so let's actually read through some of these descriptions. Hunter bug is a common and widespread insectoid class predator. It's fast, relatively strong, and has the most powerful bite of any insect. It's the only insectoid that sees in every direction and is not vulnerable to unseen attack. It has a subgenus called the northern hunting bug. It needs a large amount of meat, which makes it expensive to keep. Reaper dragon. Reaper dragon is a formidable predator found in temperate and tropical climes. It has a high critical chance and a 360 field of view, so it can see all attacks. The Reaper dragon is less prone to dehydration than other reptiles. Its tropical relative, the swamp dragon, can crossbreed without potions. Of all reptiles, the northern lizard is best adapted to cold climates. Accordingly, it is more common in the north and not found in the warmer areas. It has valuable abilities like frostbite, frost resistance, and is less prone to dehydration than other reptiles. It's the most difficult to tame. The glylo. Glylo is a large and slow herbivore whose body is covered with long spines that protect it from predators. It's found everywhere except for the north, but is most abundant in the southern tropics. Ryodoran and Gylo are relative species. Ooh, okay, I didn't know that. So, oh, but they're both female. Okay. Leopard monkey. A leopard monkey is a relatively uncommon but can be found in every province except the northern regions. It's moderately strong and fast creature, thrives in open plains and hills. Its bite inflicts shock damage and has a natural resistance to shock. Being omnivorous, it's relatively inexpensive to keep. It is a subgenus of gorilla. The Ryodoran. Ryodoran is a slow-moving herbivore reptile found everywhere except for the north. Although it's not a common species, it grows slowly, laying one large egg, but its special tail sweep ability makes it worth breeding. With its long, spiny tail, it can strike 3 attackers simultaneously. Like reptiles in general, it dislikes cold and is prone to dehydration when humidity is low. And spotted wolf. Spotted wolf is a common predator found in all corners of the realm. It's extremely hardy, undemanding, and very easy to tame. It hunts in packs, and its special ability is pack attack. Okay, we have 5,900 gold. Let me actually run to my base. Okay, good. We did start that. I wanted to make sure that we had done that because I need that to get going. All right, I really want 3 monsters. So I think we're going to take a hunter bug. I like Reaper dragons, and then we have a little bit of a Do we have somebody who's not afraid of everybody? You are ridiculously scared of hybrids. Holy moly. You are scared of hybrids. You're scared of reptiles. Okay, but you can actually at least fight insects without freaking out. Okay, so if we bought those 3, all of those are female. So a hunter bug, a reaper dragon, and a spotted wolf. All right, we're going to buy that. And then let's go to the hunters and see what we have. Okay, so there's a male hunted spotted wolf. I wasn't really planning on going wolves, but they're could actually fit in here. Alligator egg, a hyena, a boar, a reaper dragon, but it's another female. Spiny alligator hatchling, swamp. Man, we did not get any like breeding pairs. That is a little unfortunate. We go with the wolf? Double wolf could be kind of interesting. They have pack attack, which kind of lets them attack when a different one with pack attack uses it. So that could be kind of nice. I want to get at least something that we can start raising. How are you only 28? That seems really, oh, because you're a juvenile. 28 upkeep. All right, let's grab that. I want at least something. All right, we still have 1,100 gold. Let's peek and see if there's anyone we could recruit. We're in the jungle area, which is renowned for their hunters. Maybe we grab a hunter. Now, the thing is, I would much prefer to save up my money and not get a humanoid, but these monsters are not impressing me. We need somebody to do some damage, and I would prefer if my mage could only go to safe fights and not have to enter super dangerous fights. So let's peek and see what we got. We got Slow Leo. Oh boy. Sluggish Han, Peter the Lanky, Sharp Herald, Fat Imicus, Slim Leaf. It's a level 2. I probably don't want to go up to a level 2. 79 salary. Okay, most of these. Okay, so he's afraid of insects. Ditto and some elemental stuff. I kind of like the guy who's not afraid of nothing. Sharp Herald. Okay, you're probably in. So you must pay compensation if they die, and minimum term. You cannot fire him until the minimum term has expired. So we're locking him in for 6 turns. I think that's going to be fine. You're hired, bud. All right, let's see what gear he has. Can I rename you? No, I can't rename the humans. Okay, so he has extra agility. You literally are hired and you don't come with a bow. That's really annoying. Okay, let's go get him a little bit of gear. So I'm gonna need at least a bow. Crude poison bow, a poison bow. The weapons can only use poisons if they're specifically called out in the name. So you can't just poison any old weapon. Might be worth it. 12 physical damage, okay accuracy. Same stat. Okay, all those are the same. An army bow is armor piercing. Heavy armor is less protective. Hunting bow. Only has crude ones. Short bow, low damage. Okay. I kind of like the idea of the armor piercing weapon. We don't have any good monsters that can pierce armor, and this just does straight up decent damage. If I bought a poison bow, I'd have to buy poison to put on it. So I think we're gonna grab that. Let's get him a piece of armor. I'm looking at my finances here. So we only have about 600 gold left. Okay, we'll grab that. 700 gold. All right, give me those. 470. All right, can I afford him an offhand weapon? So we would want just a one-hander like sword. Maybe that would be an area where I'd think about taking a poison blade. A broadsword. So the answer is basically no. All right, we better just really not let this guy get into melee until we can actually afford some more gear. Okay, let's equip him so I don't forget. So here's a bow. Here's a chest piece. Okay, he still has plenty of room. You can take the weaker of my 2 potions. We'll put one here. Okay, a lot of prep there. Now let's actually get into things. So first things first, we have a nest in the basement. Let's go see what that's about. When you inspect the dilapidated estate, you make a surprising discovery. A hunter bug has laid eggs in the basement of the old keep. The creature did not attack you. It appears to be injured and weak. You could try to collect the eggs. Yes. All right, and for this one, I know that this is kind of like a tutorial fight, so I'm not going to go too crazy. Give me the Reaper Dragon and a Spotted Wolf. So I'm going to bring these 3. This is technically a lethal combat, but it will be just fine. All right, Babel has his magic staff attack. Fire. Okay, then we're going to make sure we block so that he doesn't get eaten. One of the really important things in this game is to do flanking attacks. They're called unseen attacks in this game. When you do an unseen attack, you auto hit. That is incredibly powerful. So it's really important that as we do combat, one of our big goals is to try to get flanks on things. I moved, but I don't have the AP to attack again. And with that, and you could probably finish this off. Oh, he dodged. Okay. We countered and didn't. So the yellow bar is your energy and the green bar is your HP. You can, if you team up against one target, you can often wear them out because dodging and parrying, etc., counterattacks use up energy. So you can just wear them out and then just beat them down. It's a good strat. All right, we got the 3 eggs. All right, those are going to be here, getting ready to be raised. Also, our Spotted Wolf. Let's give you... All right, let's make you good at killing insects, I guess. Well, no, let's do 2 and 2. So as he is raised over the next 4 turns, he's going to get a 10% bonus to bite damage against insects and a 10% bonus against reptiles. Tameness is going up by 23.3 per turn, partly because we are a sorcerer and we get that bonus. It's really important that when they grow up in 4 turns that we hit 100 tame. If you don't, they're untamed and they can only fight in lethal combat, which is not good. They're probably going to end up getting themselves killed. So not particularly useful in that case. So really important that we get that there, which we will definitely do. We have these hunter bugs. Again, I think I'm going to go really cheap on these because I don't know if they're going to be any good or not. So I'm just going to give them some insect meat because it's super cheap. So when those hatch, they'll have 2 turns where we can feed them some meat. I don't know if we're going to be able to tame those, frankly. Those may come out untamed now I'm looking at that. Is what it is. Okay, we have an actual tournament and we have a catacomb fight. Let's do the catacomb fight next. This is lethal combat. Catacomb is an ancient and infamous prison and execution site. Public executions happen every month where wild animals tear apart condemned criminals. The fight of wild beasts is also very popular among the public. All combats are lethal, and the rewards depend on the number of combatants. So we'll do an execution. I can't send people for this one. This is animals tearing apart prisoners. So we'll send a Spotted Wolf, a Reaper Dragon, and a Hunter Bug, and we'll start the battle. You can accept auto combats. I'm going to do most of my fights manual. This fight may get autoed after a while. We can do one of these every single month. Okay, so the prisoners are put in the middle, and then my monsters get to come out. Where are we? Okay, we're there. What I want to do is I want to try to group up and not fight 1v1s. So, oh yeah, look at that. We kind of got lucky with positioning here. Let's see if we can tempt one of these guys closer. Done. The combat starts out pretty simple, but once you start getting like gear and magical gear, and you start actually breeding in more interesting creatures, it gets quite wild, actually. All right, we're gonna come over here. I want to try to set myself up so we can get some rear attacks. So I'm kind of hoping they go. Let's actually move back even. I want them to try to team up on the bug because that's who it looks like they're going for. And then we'll have the other two flank in. This is going to be a little risky. All right. These are like starving prisoners with a crappy sword. They're not super dangerous, but you can get killed by these. Okay, they did go for the bug, which is what I wanted. All right, and apparently the bug's afraid of people. Well, that's not great. All right, hurry over there and try to help. This guy's not engaged. Okay, this one has a less chance of counterattacking. 11 damage, not bad, with only 2 return. Okay, that's okay. I wish this guy had been able to get right there. That's where he wants to go, and I kind of want to let him do it. Or conversely, we flank here. Probably not. All right, I think our wolf is gonna have to 1v1 here. I don't want to waste a turn. Yeah. I mean, it's literally a wolf. Convict Everard is moving. He hits my bug. We counterattack, but gets dodged. Attacked. I wish they wouldn't stick the camera right up against the wall. It is what it is. There are a few settings you can do here. Camera tilt and zoom. You can do some pretty wild stuff with the camera. This kind of just locks it into the x-axis and then WASD to move it around. Yeah, the other one's pretty wild. You could just really spin the camera around in weird angles and whatnot. Okay, and the power of flanking. There we go. All right. Now, the Catacombs doesn't pay out great, but 360 gold, that's going to at least pay for my monster's food for the turn. So we're going to most turns do a Catacomb fight. All right, and now the big one, the tournament. Standard tournaments mainly include fights where there is no level requirement, although highest paying matches are only for experienced characters and monsters. Fighting on the scorching surface of the caldera is a challenge for warriors and monsters alike. All combatants gain 50% fire weakness and 50% frost resistance. Reptile monsters that fight here are 25% stronger. Magic circles cause additional fire weakness to those around them, and pitfalls make it difficult to move around. We look at these are all the different fights that we can do in this tournament. Red means we don't meet the requisites to be able to fight this. So like this one, Champion's Honor, we need a level above 9. Well, we don't even have a level 2. So those are just straight out. These trophies are things that we could win. So like here we'd win a Sword of Shock if we win that fight. We could do an open game. This icon right here means it's a lethal fight. I don't want to do lethal fights if I can help it. So like Mage's Pets, this is a mage and 2 monsters. So if we didn't have a mage, we wouldn't qualify for this. Monsters versus humans, what do you got? That is a lot of human. What if we bring your HP down? So you can change the fight between normal, easy, and hard version of it, and it's going to change the gold if you win, but it's also going to level them up or give them better gear or classes, etc. So potions are allowed. It's non-lethal standard equipment. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. 1200. Mage's Pets is worth a little bit less. I would like to get my Mage XP though, and this is a safe way to do it. We do have an archer, but what's the problem here? Oh, I need 2 archers. Okay, well, we don't have 2 archers. Open games is worth the most, but I don't want to chance a lethal fight. Not until we at least get a couple levels. So it's really down between these two. I think we're going to take the safe mage fight. All right, so Thomas the Soft, an arachnid creature, which is an insectoid and a hybrid. 23, 20, and 5. It's non-lethal combat. We could go easier. A hybrid Wolverine and so double hybrid. I don't know if that's actually easier. All right, let's do this one. All right, so yeah, he's not allowed here because you're required to have a mage, so we have to send Babel. And then double hybrid. So do we have somebody who's not? Okay, like the wolf is terrified of hybrids. You're afraid of hybrids too. Everyone's afraid of hybrids. That makes me really nervous. That makes me really nervous. Let's cancel that. If we went with this one hybrid creature and an arachnid. Let's look at that other fight. I'm really nervous about that. I would much prefer to do that. 3 melee guys. It's a non-lethal fight. I think we're going to take this one. Yeah, I'm going to take that one. Let me just double check. Are any of you guys terrified of humans? Okay, no. Yes, so the hunter bug. Hunter bug's not particularly useful here. So, oh, but I have to send him. Shoot. Man, what a horrible first fight. All right, we'll take the mage fight. We'll suck it up on the easier one with the hybrids. This is going to go badly. I already can tell. Prepare to fight. All right, we have to send Babel, and then we have our choice. Who is the least afraid? All right, the Reaper Dragon and the Hunter Bug are the least afraid. Okay, let's do it. Fight manually. All right, so very, very important that we get that fire damage in from my staff as fast as possible. We also need to make sure that our mage does not get based. If they get in contact, we're gonna have a bad time. Okay, waddle up here, buddies. Now, luckily with this fire debuff, hopefully, that'll lower the resistance enough that I can really hit hard with my staff. Okay, he's gonna move up and attack. No, he can't. Okay. I hope I can hit him. Did you manage to block me? You didn't. If I hit, there's almost a pretty good chance we just kill him. Let's try. We whiffed. Unfortunate. All right, Mr. Bug number 1, move up, and you can still attack. Excellent. That is so good. Being able to move, like I said, just even 1 hex and attack is so good. All right, move here. And now we have an unseen attack. Auto hit for 8 damage, and he doesn't have any counterattacks left. Good turn. Also, you brought an ice staff to a firefight, which is not a good plan. Okay, he attacked my bug. And my bug's too tired to counterattack, yeah. Okay, so... The reason I'm thinking is, do we take the unseen attack for the auto hit? He has 8. That would kill him. But if I do that, this bug's probably not going to be able to get into range of him. Although maybe he could go eat the mage. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that guy's down. All right, kill the mage. I hit my bug instead. Perfect. Okay, yeah, that red arrow is telling me I would get an attack of opportunity if I try to run right there. I don't want that, so we're just going to move up and nibble on him. He had 5 HP, so we just kill him. Shift and right click allows you to turn your monster. So you definitely want a position where you're not going to get rear attacked. So like this guy, let's just face that. Done. Can't believe we hit our own bug. Okay, yeah, this bug is afraid of the hybrids. Apparently we're not doing too bad here. What's your fear? 89. How are you not afraid of this guy? I'm not complaining, but it's just surprising me. All right, so we would get an attack opportunity if I move there. Let's get into position where I'm hopefully not going to hit my own guys. Move here. Nibble. -6. Good. My bug's getting a little low. He's got 6 HP. Even if we don't die, we can get wounded, I believe. So it is kind of important that we don't, let ourselves get absolutely whomped on, even in these non-lethal. Well, he has -2 AP from fear. My buggo is in very bad shape. Okay, 100% chance to hit. Perfect. Get him. Oh no! Come on, get him. Okay, there we go. Woo! Survived. And everyone's healthy. You love to see it. Nobody, unfortunately, leveled there. Congratulations, you've successfully defeated your opponents. We got 1638 for money. And we already looked at the druid. Yeah, we already looked at that. So we've done all of our fights. We have started a building. We bought a few monsters that, okay, they did all right. I like more aggressive monsters early on. A tank is nice too, but a tank doesn't win a fight by himself. He needs somebody to do DPS. We didn't end up using our archer, which is a little unfortunate because we're gonna have to pay him, but that is how it is. Anything else I want to look at? Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't want any of these. Nope. All right, let's go ahead and end our first turn. So we're gonna move into April. April is a Venom Whirl. So now we have a different tournament open. The local alchemy shop got new items. All right. What I'm interested in here mostly would be an agility potion. 12 action points. I'm gonna buy that. If we need to go absolutely crazy on our archer, that's gonna do it for us. So we'll buy that. I also want to go stop in here since we have some money now. And I want some kind of one-handed weapon. So if we get based, we're not gonna just die. Deep wounds. 25% damage on monsters, unarmored, and lightly armored humans. I like that. Or we can go with the poison blade, which allows me to apply poisons. Let's go all in on the poison blade. And we'll go to the alchemist. Let's get something. Okay, diluted poison, 2 turns of -1 health, a bunch of minus energy. That's interesting. For 2 turns, that's a lot of energy loss. That might be enough that we could turn off their attacks, essentially. All right, let's buy that one. And I will buy that. Let's come over here. So you need to have your offhand. And we'll put the poison on it. And here's an agility potion. And you can already see, oh, I didn't change his training, shoot. His burden's already relatively high. Let's get in here. All right, I do want him to get a little bit of strength because he's gonna run into this problem where he can't put on enough defense. I don't really care about the one-hander. I guess a little bit's fine. Some dodge. One-handed parry? I'm just gonna turn that off for now. Like I said, if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority, so that's what we'll do. Little sharp herald. Okay, that's good there. We have no other messages. 3 turns left on our hunter's cabin. We got 3 turns left on all of our juveniles. We've already set them up. I didn't call this out, but I also start with some other potions. We have a weak swiftest potion, a stone skin, a cure, a training potion, insectoid blood, reptile blood, and mammal blood. These are useful for powering up your monsters, but we kind of need better facilities before I can really make use of these. I don't want to just spend these for the sake of using it. So we're just gonna save those. Okay, let's get directly into another fight. Venom World takes place at Spider Hall every April. There are 3 categories to compete against the champion teams and monsters. The winner gets gold, silver, and bronze medal. The highest award a valuable item. Spider Hall is located in the southern tropical wetlands. Poisons and insects dominate combat in this arena. All insectoids get 25% agility bonus, and every combatant gets plus 50% poison weakness. Multiple pitfalls make the fight more difficult. Magic circles further increase poison weakness. Okay. All right, well, we're definitely not taking on the champion, that's for sure. Okay, there's an open game that's non-lethal. We could do another mage pet fight. I kind of like that idea because I want to level up. We also could do humans versus monsters. I see. So I would need a full monster team. We also have druids. This fight is dominated by monsters and warriors. Each team has 2 to 3 creatures or fighters and a supporting mage. Okay. I don't really have the team for that. Well, maybe. Oh man, 2 guys with 2-handed weapons. That is spooky. That is spooky. But if I brought the archer can probably goink the mage. How much? You'd be 1,700 if I did that. If we did mage pet, I mean, that is more money. And it's non-lethal. No potions allowed. Potions are really... The enemy seems to always have way more potions than I do, and they don't have to pay for them. So they're very happy to drink those potions down. I think we're going to do the easier side of this. This is still more money than the mage fight. So we'll prepare for battle. All right, we'll send our archer. Definitely the Reaper Dragon. And the bug is afraid of humans, so we're not going to send him. We'll send the wolf. Yeah, as you can already see, building up your bench of monsters that are good at fighting different things in different arenas is kind of how you're going to want to progress until you can breed some kind of super monster, basically. But yeah, we're going to avoid the hunter bug because he would be scared of all these humans, even though otherwise he would be pretty good. Let's do it. Right, manual. Okay, so this is going to lower poison resistance. I can't use potions, but I think that means my sword would still be poisoned here. I really would like my archer to take out their mage. That would be his #1 goal. And then you guys move on up. And done. All right, Fabian the Tiny, show me what you got. Yeah, look at those big battle axes. Those almost look like Dane axes. That's a little spooky. I kind of want to fight him right here on the off chance that we're able to get a poison off. So let's move up. I also need to be very careful that I don't let them base my archer. I'm going to be so sad if that happens. All right, move to here. Done. Okay, he will base me if I don't do something. So I need to make sure we do. Okay, very low chance to hit that guy. Decent chance to hit this one. I think we're just gonna all in on this guy quick. Do it. That was not it, man. That was definitely not doing it. All right, you're in here. Can't attack. All right, a setup turn. A little unfortunate. I just don't want to chance them basing my archer. So they're both gonna get to swing first. I don't love that. Ooh, they're afraid though. I like that. Good dodge. Good dodge. Ivo the chicken and little Gorvanol. Ow, but little Gorvanol gets a good hit. Okay. I want that mage. I'm gonna slowly work my way towards him. All right, let's use our unseen attack. Oh, he retaliates. Okay, but he's out of energy basically. Another unseen attack. And he's down. Turn towards you. You didn't have. Oh, and we even have some AP left to get into position. That way. Done. You jerk. All right. Good dodge. Good dodge. All right. Again, let's get a little bit closer. Get this guy. There it is. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen. All right. Now, are you telling me there wouldn't be an attack of opportunity? Oh, we're in unseen. I see. Different amounts of sight. You know, some of those monsters we were reading about said that they have 360 vision. That means that you would provoke if you move around them. But right here, we're fine. So do the attack. Okay, good dodge. As we tire them out, also, they start like kind of fumbling attacks. Yikes. So very worthwhile. And as you can see, if we team up on somebody, we can tire them out really quickly. Stop hitting my wolf. Oh, the wolf leveled. All right, archer first. Well, no. Reaper first. I believe you get XP not just for killing people, but dodges, parries. I think if you take an action of any type, defensive or offensive, I think you're getting XP. We have successfully defeated the opponents. Not terrible. The next big one is in May. Guild's Fair, there's something really important I want to buy, and it's like 5K. I don't know if we're going to make it, unfortunately. All right, let's hit the catacombs. We will do an execution start. I will send all 3 of you. Start battle. Let's just accept the auto result. Well, yeah, let's just accept it. I think we're going to be fine. Healthy, healthy, healthy. Love to see it. 360 gold on that. That's just going to be the same fight every single time, and that easy one is pretty easy. I feel like that one's safe. When we start doing the harder ones, I'll have to fight those again. All right, let's end that turn. Okay, we have a lot of events this turn, so we have a bunch of egg hatches. Let's just close those. Egg thieves. The thieves appeared and offered the eggs for sale. Now's the time to act. Hold that thought. Thief says that they have 3 green ant eggs. He claims the ants are extraordinary because they were bred by druids. Maybe he just wants to bargain up the price with the story. Anyways, you agree to buy the 3 eggs for 1,500 and follow the thief to his hideout, a nearby cave. Now that you know where they are hiding, you have 2 options. You can attack them in the cave or wait until they reappear and buy the eggs. If you attack and do not defeat them, they will escape and you will fail the quest. All right, let's close that. I'm pretty sure I can reopen it. All right, let's start here. I want to see if we can get some levels before we have to do that fight. So we'll do you guys, start battle. I'm just going to take their auto win. And nobody leveled though. Let's double check. Oh, I lied. Everyone has a level. Okay, Spotted Wolf. Let's level you up. You last 4.6 years. And we are planning on doing a breed, I think, here. Okay, so I'm just debating what I want to do. So every species is going to have passive abilities, and you can breed these into your different monster lines. Pack attack. Multiple monsters attack simultaneously if they have enough energy and action points. So this is one of the bonuses of the wolves having that. We have general skills. Athletics lets us move easier, basically. Counterattacks, we can get extra counterattacks. Critical chance, that extra agility from this line would be really nice, especially on slower monsters. Development bonus, this is the greed stat. You know it, I know it. You just straight up gain more XP, and once you max this out, every time you level, you get an extra skill point. Very, very powerful. A little bit of extra HP, and then you have your species specific things. So this is a mammal species, so they have dodge, bite, a bunch of bonuses there, some counterattack stuff. Insectoid hunter increases the chance to attack and dodge insects. Reptile hunter, ditto, and manhunter. Normally I would definitely take this first, but because I know this fight that we're going to do is kind of hard, I think I might actually take the manhunter. A 10% extra chance to attack and dodge could be pretty vital. Could be pretty vital. And I'm not really planning on like I only took the mammals because that's what we had available. I kind of wanted to go insects and reptiles. Yeah, let's take that. Let's take the immediate one. This is going to be a lethal fight, so I need to take this very seriously. Okay, this is a lizard. My Reaper Dragon doesn't have a skill, which is sad. And reptile skill lowers the cost to dodge, to bite, to counterattack. More bite reduction. Those are all fine. I think we're going to go for the greed on him. I really like Reapers, and I want to get breeding on that line, so I think we're going to go in on that. And our hunter bug. I don't suppose you can make yourself less afraid of humans. So you have dodge arrows, fear attack, increase fear on enemy, and just a generic combat one. I think this is going to be versus a bunch of archers. I'm going to take dodge arrows. Again, I'm just very concerned we're going to lose this fight. So we're going to go for the power here. Any of my humanoids level up? No. Okay. Well, maybe we could level up again in the tournament. Let me check the tournament. What do we got? A non-lethal open game. Elite shock staff. Ooh. No potions. Excuse me. Can I do this fight? An optional team of fight against the same number of monsters. Okay. That's not too bad. If I could do this, we could get an elite shock staff. That has like 10% more accuracy if nothing else. Prepare for battle. All right, come on team. I know this isn't what I just leveled you up to do, but you can do it. Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me, who will be very disappointed in you if you don't win. let's do the fight. Okay. Raising and lowering morale and energy. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen this before. Okay, double archer and a mage. All right, so the bug took arrow dodging. Now, how much is 10%? Well, you know, it's 10%. So maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't be good. We're gonna kind of try to let him get out front, and hopefully he'll become the archer's target. That mage is also super duper eatable. So I'd love it if somebody can just sneak on in and just munch him. Let's actually run this direction a little bit. Yeah. I want to kind of get this terrain. That seems like, I'm guessing that's going to raise our morale. And then I probably should turn just to make sure that they don't have a side hit. Okay, he may be in range next turn. Okay, these are turned off currently. When I close the gap, I want to close the gap. Because if I just slow walk it, they're just going to start shooting me. All right, bug. Make up for your otherwise lackluster performance so far by eating a bunch of arrows for me. And you know what? You're allowed to dodge. Good miss. Not a good miss. Yes, yes, yes. All right, base that mage. All right, and I can get in there. I want to try to make sure I set myself up that I'll be able to do unseens. You know what? Let's double up on that mage. And we'll look that way. Yeah, the archers are just so deadly in the early game. Like 10 damage when most of your monsters have 20, 30, maybe 40 is so deadly. Poorly. Oh, nice. Not enough energy to counterattack. Unfortunate. You're going to pop him. Oh, we hates that. Okay, you definitely are doing that. Ooh, got the level up. Okay, can you kill him? 10 damage. You have 5 HP. You have a bite. I'd like you to attack him, so you eat that. Good job. Good job. I mean, you're literally gonna do that, so. Unfortunately, did not take him down. Oh, he attacked the guy with more HP, you dum-dum. He took down my bug. All right, we got to do the unseen attack. It's just too good to auto hit. And let's try to give this guy some cover. No! We'll avenge you, Hunter Bug! How dare you? Ow. Luckily, these guys aren't as good in melee. All right, zip to here. Zip to there. All right, well, how good at melee are you? You have a 19 attack. That's not great for me. What do you have? And you do have a sword. Neither of you are going to be able to attack. All right, come on, boys. Ow. All right, get him. Okay, good dodge. And we got him. Nice. Oh man, archers are so scary. Archers are so scary. Okay, we did it. That's going to be huge though for Babel here. This does 4 fire damage and 13 physical damage with an accuracy of 79, or 7 shock damage, 20 physical damage, and 89 accuracy. That is a huge upgrade there. Very, very nice. And we got 2 level ups. So Wolf, we gave you a man-hunting one. Okay, this next fight is gonna have a bunch of archers in it. I already just know. I'm actually gonna up that again. I hope the dodge counts against arrows too, if they're fired obviously by humans. All right, Reaper Dragon, I'm just all in on the greed on you. You're the one I care about right now. Look at that little girl. Look at that little girl. All right, so back to here. All right, egg thieves, attack them. All right, we are all in on this. This is a lethal fight. This is kind of our first like gut check. If we lose this fight and Babel dies, it's game over. So this is kind of high stakes. We're sending the whole team. All right, what did we get? Okay, I already don't like the terrain here, I'll tell you that. Archer, archer, archer. Yeah. Okay, Bug, you got point because you have the best arrow dodge. There's just nothing else I can do about that. And I'm not gonna poke my nose around that corner and just let them get possible free shots. So we're gonna wait. Are you gonna charge me? Of course you're not. All right. Go to here. Pretty sure they can shoot him there. All right, run to there. All right, so we have the two best defensive options out front at the moment. And we'll just wiggle our way closer. All right, come on, guys, come on. Ooh, I like that. That was a... Oh, but he does have a choke point. Okay, I'm gonna send the wolf in because the wolf is not afraid of humans like the bug is. Nice and nice. Yeah, we took those levels of the manhunter. Definitely gonna be worth it. All right, Bug, you go that way. And you move out of the way so the archer can get in. We're gonna have to just chance this. Yeah, getting enough AP that I could move and still get a attack off would be such an upgrade for Babel. Nobody else is gonna have any actions. All right, melee I'm less scared of. The arrows are what frighten me. Of course. Of course. Okay, well, I mean, if that had been a crit, it would have been game over. I'm just gonna wait over here, guys. You got this. You got this. Nom nom nom. All right, bow shot, no line of sight. Yeah, this is the problem. Can you get a shot from here? No. Yeah, what horrific terrain. All right, bugs charging, lizards charging. I am gonna go here on the off chance that I decide to step aside with the wolf to get a shot. The archer. Oh, double attack. We hate that. Okay, step one, wolf attack. All right, do I eat? And that's not showing me an attack of opportunity. Nice, he didn't have one. Now you're open for shots. Yeah, how do you like it? All right, bug, get in there. Get ready for the flank. Lizard, get in there. All right, I'm pretty certain we're gonna be all right here. I don't think he's got the oomph for me now. Beating up my bug. That bug really needs some extra energy. All right, we'll take the unseen attack. And we'll take the unseen attack. It killed my hunter bug. Well, I didn't like the bug that much anyways, so there you go. And this is fatal combat, so he should, yeah, hunter bug is dead. He's just dead. He's gone now. Rip. Yeah, get out of here. All right, start heading that way just in case. That does, however, mean I only have 2 monsters now. So depending on what arenas and whatnot we end up in, that could be a problem. And got him. Ooh. Dead. Rip. You've successfully defeated the thieves. You have all 3 eggs. It's time to decide what to do with them. If you hand over the 3 eggs, the druids will reward you with a valuable gift, and you'll have access to more goods at the next market. If you keep 1 egg, the druids will not be completely satisfied and will not give you any rewards, but you will have access to more goods. If you keep all 3 eggs, the druids will only sell you their basic supplies next fair. I would absolutely love to get a green ant. They're a really good species. I was hoping we'd start with those, but we just didn't get any. But I think I'll take the reward. What's it gonna be? A bone stone. I feel like that was not a particularly good reward, if I'm being honest. That makes me sad. Okay, new stock and guild fair. New weapon merchant stuff. Guild fair. Unfortunately, we are short on this. This one is what I want. I want this really badly. Runestone of Purity. Once we have our hatchling cabin, we can use this to lower abomination, which would allow me to start using my other stuff. Yeah, I need to go sell stuff. Where can I see that? Back at base? Stuff? Yeah. All right. What was that? Excellent bone stone. Okay, so I think that's going to be a potion material. I could sell that for 200. And what if we sell our old staff? Okay, there we go. We're all right. Sell those. Now, we do have... Yeah, we have a lot of monster upkeep right now. Holy moly. All right, we're going to have to sell something else. And literally all we have is potions. All right. I don't love that. We're going to have to sell quite a bit if I go that way. Okay, I'm not selling crossbreed potions. Those are hard to get in rare. Mammal blood. Taming potion. Well, you guys are not worth much. All right, if I was to sell these, how much do I need? Okay, so 500, 630. Yeah, so 644 is correct here. So I would need like 5,700. I don't think I can afford it. That's going to be an entire year before that comes back around. Okay, hang on. What if... Oh, this is such bad use. What if we sold that weapon? How much would you give me for that? Base. Items. Weapon. Only 178. I guess the sword and the poison was a bad purchase. Okay, so let's call this... So we need to earn about 3... We need to earn a little bit more. All right, I'm selling it. That's how important this item is for me. All right, go here. I want the Runestone of Purity. Yes. Buy it. All right, so we have 669, so just enough for our upkeep. That was painful. That was really painful. Our upkeep is really high right now, especially with people that aren't contributing here. All right, we are gonna have, oh, the 100 bugs, that's why. 100 bugs hatch, so we're having to feed them. One other thing you can do is you can up the amount of feed that they're getting. If I can afford that though. I think that's gonna be okay. I hope that's gonna be okay. Because I actually want that wolf to be as good as it can be. If I'm gonna do a breed, I'm gonna give it the double food. I would do it for everybody, but we just can't afford it. We've done all of our fights. Let's end turn. Turn 4. No messages. All right. We are -2 gold. Well, that's not good. I don't want loans. Loans are very bad. All right. We'll do the catacomb. We'll do the easy fight. We'll send in the 2 guys who can do it. I'll let them just auto it. They should be fine at this point. All right. Then we have 1 actual fight. We need to win this. Or we're going to be in trouble because we spend about 500 gold per turn on upkeep at the moment. So what do we got? Range of combat. Clash of melee weapons with ranged weapons. 1 team of warriors and monsters, the other of archers and mages. Fights not always evenly matched. I don't feel like we will win this. We're not that good. Mage's Pets, of course, we can definitely do that one. It would give us a fine shock staff, so that's the same as what we got, right? Actually, I think this one's not quite as good. Could be a sellable thing, though. But that's a lethal. All right, so it's either Mage Pet. I think it's basically Mage Pet. I guess we could do open game. If we did the easier one. Insectoid Slayer, joke's on you, my insect already died. You have Fire Skin, I don't love that, and Light Hemophilia. I think we're gonna do this one. Alright, so non-lethal combat, they can't use potions. Yeah, I like no potions because the enemy just always seems to have more than me. Standard equipment, plenty of money if we win. Let's do it. And we can bring the whole crew. Do it. Okay, so we got to remember this rat has fire skin. I'd like to just shoot him down. I also don't love those two-handed weapons. Again, I would love to just shoot those down. I feel like we may have an extra movement from what we normally have. Maybe our agility went up high enough that kicked in. Lame auto. Frail Jarin. Rat hybrid. Fine. Lowers fire resistance. I don't do any fire at the moment, and the rat does. Okay. Let's swing you out a little bit. And let's swing you over here. Come on up. Alright, let's see what they do. They don't have any range, so if they don't come to me, we can poke at them. Alright, rat, you gotta go. We whiffed. Rat, you gotta go. We whiffed. Hey, okay, you come here. Alright, I don't want a chance getting based. Alright, rat, I would really like to take that down with the range stuff, if I can. Alright, 100% chance. 5. Okay, you got 16 left. Come on, buddy. Almost downed him. Alright, you're the safer attack. Dodged. There's the unseen attack. And we did take 2 damage from his fire skin. Alright, that's probably about as good as I could have hoped for. Good dodge, okay. Yeah, keeping your energy high enough on dodgy things is really important. All right, he's in a little bit of trouble because now they can unforeseen him from this side. So, you gotta go. 6 damage. 5 more damage. And then we get an attack by move, so we'll just have to attack. Critical hit! Oh, my friend. Good job. Oh, this is why I like Reaper Lizards. Okay, good. And then you. Do we chance... Okay, he looks like he might not actually have enough energy to counterattack. Let's do that. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Dodging up a storm. Yeah, this symbol means you're overweight, and it affects your energy and your movement and your AP. Alright, no friendly fire, please. Oh, we have enough to move and attack. Yes! The agility training is paying off. Very much paying off. I get that unseen attack. Alright, now I need to think a little bit, though. Now I don't have to think at all. I was gonna say who do I attack here, but now we don't have to think about it. Yeah, you are gonna get wrecked. Good fight. Good fight. Yeah, that went as well as I could have hoped for. Step here. We have no shot. Step there. I don't think it's going to survive that long, but just in case. And it's defenseless. Beautiful. What a fight. What a fight. Excellent. Spotted Wolf defeated 2. Sharp Herald got 1. Reaper got 1. Babel leveled up. 2,177. All right, we're back in the money, boys. Where are we on that building? Next turn, okay. It's currently wet and very hot. Is everyone okay? Nobody's sick? Yeah, they're all right. It's warm and humid. Yeah, getting that cabin will make it a lot easier to do our raising of stuff. All right, now we actually have some money. I am going to give them the full food. If you look at the right-hand side, we're gaining some extra health and some extra strength. I wish I could have done that the whole time, but it is what it is. I was just broke. I didn't see anybody got new materials. I never even looked. Do you have any crossbreeding potions? No. Fine. So energy potions, fire resist. Okay, no, nothing I'm interested in at the moment. Okay, so it's in June. Okay, June doesn't have anything special. July is Inferno. That should be another tournament. August is the herb market. Caravan, I believe, is where we can hire slave warriors. That's what I'm really interested in. So unless something opens up, we're going to try to save money the best we can. Although we're going to have to start another building when this one finishes. Let's take that turn. Monster has grown up times a bunch. We'll look at them here in a second. Construction complete. New stock at the herbalist, new stock at the hunters, and capacity storage. There's not enough place for your monsters. Okay, yeah, we will do that. You will have to keep some of them in a temporary cage in the courtyard from which they can more easily escape. Escaping untamed monsters can cause problems in nearby villages, resulting in compensation, trial, or guild investigation. Yeah, we don't want that. We have our hunters or our hatchling cabin. So here we can actually adjust the climate. So if we wanted to raise some cold monsters, we could do that. Hatchling cabin, small but safe place to shelter 8. Yeah, we read that. Do we have anybody currently? Juveniles. No, we have no juveniles at the moment. Okay, monsters. So what I need to do, hang on. Old keep. I want to change this from a hatchling to a monster. And then I want to go back out. I want to go to my adults. I don't want them in the courtyard. I want them down in the old keep small chamber. That only holds 1? Excuse me? Yep, that only holds 1. All right. Another one. 3. Okay. I mean, I guess that's fine. Okay. I just do not want them in the courtyard. I just do not want them in the courtyard. All right, so let's put all the 100 bugs together. So we did get breeding pairs. I guess we're into hunter bugs now. I wasn't really into that. Humidity is too high. Okay. You don't like that either. What about in here? Okay, that's just going to be a problem for them. That's just really going to be a problem for them. 10% decrease. Okay, let's look at building. So that's already kind of telling us what we need next. So second, nope. Old keep dungeon extension, that'd be fine, but that's very expensive. A monster kennel, this is what we need. It's gonna cost 2,000. Monster kennel is a basic outdoor kennel suitable to keep up to 4 monsters at ambient temperature and humidity. So those bugs are gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle real bad. They may need to go. We just don't have the facilities for something that doesn't fit in properly. Incubator house, an alchemist shack, a blacksmith's hut, lodging, storage shed, and altars. Okay, so yeah, we need the kennel. Cost 2,000. I do not have 2,000 currently. Okay. So we'll have to go do some other stuff first. So new stock. I highly doubt there's anything I'm going to buy, but we'll peek. I mean, healing potions are nice, but we're having a money problem. Construction complete. Yeah, we know that. New stock at the hunters. Okay, I could get some more meat. We're not raising anything currently, though. A green ant egg. I'm interested in that. Green ants are really nice. Green ant is a fast and hardy species that's widespread in all provinces. It's the only creature that is completely fearless, and it is relatively easy to tame. It requires a largely plant-based diet and is therefore inexpensive to keep. These guys are just champions, absolute champions. Okay, we'll think about that after we look at our money problems. So let's do catacombs. Do this one, start, and everyone goes. Start battle, accept. Everyone survived. 720 income. That is kind of nice. I think we're gonna have to sell off those bugs. There's just no way we can take care of them with our climate here, unfortunately. Okay, that would give me enough to build the monster holding, but we wouldn't have enough for upkeep, although selling the bugs will lower our upkeep. Let's do the Inferno. So we could do an open game. We definitely are not going to beat the beast. Blood Rage. We're probably not doing that. Only monsters can participate. We fight for victory. Yeah, that is... Even if we went low, no shot we would win that at all. Hybrid creatures are the most dangerous because they're going to bring in traits from multiple things. Yeah, they're no good. No good. We can't beat him, so literally our only choice is the open game. At least it's not lethal. 5 combatants. A bunch of fire guys. So this is going to be home team advantage. I don't think I want to do that. Okay, 1 fire skin guy. 5 combatants. Players free to choose whatever makeup they want for their team. Okay, this is not a weak set. So we have lizard, 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 and just a crazy hybrid, 1 dude. Okay, prepare for battle. So we're obviously bringing our archer and our mage, our wolf, our reaper dragon, and our spotted wolf. Why can't you guys come? I don't know why that's the case. All right, that's fine. Do it. All right, so our plan here, who had the fire skin? You do. All right, the guy at the bottom, I would like to take out via range if at all possible. So come up here. Oh, I wonder if we had a bonus to mages in that other arena, and that's what gave us the extra movement, because we're back to normal. Boo. I was very excited to be able to move 1 and actually attack. Okay, a sword and board guy. Okay, that's the guy I really want to shoot. Ooh, I like that they're bunched up. Excellent. Okay, this is going to be fire reduction. Nobody here does fire except for that one guy, so I'm not too worried about it. Move up to here. Oh, I didn't even realize. Our other one grew up. Okay, we definitely want these two to double team somebody. This is going to be a little bit awkward. I think we're actually going to shift him way over here. I want to make sure I've got room for these. All right, we're going to try to be sneaky here a little bit. Yeah, we want these two to be on the same target if at all possible, so we can use pack attack. Pack attack. All right, that guy. That guy gotta die. I want him done right now. I want him done. All right, step 1, hit him with the magic staff. That is not as big a chunk of his HP as I would have liked to see. And we got to remember we're also getting flanked from here. I'm pretty sure we'll hit. Nice. Nice. Okay. And then move up here. Got to do it. Dodged. Oh, rip. All right, 29 HP. I'm just checking. Okay, you both have 29. If I don't move anything, this lizard will probably come up to here. That's no good. All right, you go there. guess here. I'm just all in on trying to get this guy, get rid of that guy. Okay, somebody's afraid of that. Oh no, they were afraid of me. Perfect. I love that this lizard has wasted so much time just running around dumbly. All right, we have no line of sight for that. We could hit that one. 25% chance for friendly fire. Okay, you've been bait. Okay, this guy's still free to move. He'll probably come base my archer. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can free up things here. So, yeah, there's the pack attack going off. Everyone gets fire skinned. Perfect. All right, just take the shot you can take. Hopefully that'll keep you safe. And then we have you. Finish him. He dodged. All right, man, that fire dude's tanking like a crazy man here. Don't love that. Creature hybrid is moving. All right. Oh, I don't love that amount of fear that we got going on. All right, step one. All right, we're definitely taking. Oh, he can see me. I see. He must have full vision. All right, in that case, you. He's still up at 1 HP. All right. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right. I think we're working on you next. And you have a decent shot. Let's get a good shot. Yeah, archers are just spooky. 18 damage and he's bleeding. That's from the bow that we have that has that bleed. Okay, he bleeds out. My Reaper is getting pretty pooped out. Okay, step one. Oh, beautiful. All right, you are kind of the guy that's best to hit. All right, do it. I'm so glad we haven't. Okay, we're not going to do the pack attack because I want to try to finish him, and we do. Now, what if you attack? Can you pack attack him? No, he didn't have the AP for it. Okay, makes sense. Defenseless, yes. All right, we're going to clean this up pretty effectively here. Attack of opportunity. Oh, he feared out. He was going to run. Yeah, that's the problem with fear. Like, that is such a good way to get yourself killed, just like horrifically. My bow shot. Beautiful. He can counterattack. And I don't have the AP to move and hit. All right, would you move over? If I'm going to reposition, I might as well just reposition. All right, and you... Oop. That is not... Right. Okay, so, yeah, like this whole enemy team had 360 vision. Good to know. I need to be careful of that. All right. Excellent. And Sharp Herald got a medal. Perform at least 5 range hits without a single miss, plus 1 skill point. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Let's get in there. Oh, he actually has 2 level ups from that. All right, now as a human, I don't know if I'm going to keep him around, though. I really would prefer to switch him out. If I'm going to switch him out, I should probably take something down here and make him just more effective while we have him. If I'm going to keep him, I would want to get the development bonus. I think I'm going to assume that we're going to get rid of him in the future. That's what I'm going to count on. So what are we going to do here? Minus energy, minus action point, bow shot. All right, let's do 2 bow shots. So now our bow costs 1 less energy and 1 less action point to actually fire. And then for Babel, again, we're going full greed here. Is this literally your first point? Oh my goodness. All right, well, start in on that. Very disappointed. We need to get you some more XP, Babel. That's just not going to cut it. All right, 4,800. Another thing, I believe once you have more than 2 buildings, your property upkeep really gets a lot higher. So definitely want to make sure we got our finances in order by then. So we are going to build a monster kennel. Build it. And then let's go look at these guys. We just can't keep these. Like, they're just going to fade away. So we may as well sell them while they're good. Another thing, what do I show? Yeah, research. We need to do a vivisection to be able to do this. So I think we're going to vivisect one of those bugs. So, not you. All right, kill monster. You'll get 3 monster meat if you slaughter him. Do we want to? Okay, that's not. How do I do the vivisection? I did that before once. All right, maybe not. How much are you worth? 214. Oh, that's my spotted wolf. Hunter bug. Okay, we could get some leather greaves. That would be for my hunter, or we could just take some money. You know what? I'll take the gear on that one. Hunter bug. I will take the money for that one. -3 health. I'll take the money for that one. All right, that's gonna drastically lower our upkeep. I would do this one, but I'm not sure that's the vivisection I need. I thought that's how I did it. We need to do the vivisection so that we can learn combat surgery. Yeah, life-saving operations. Definitely want that. Not in turn. Monsters. All right, we got some level ups. We got the spotted wolf. Let's get you guys in the same cell. And we'll take the Reaper Dragon. Sometimes things can attack each other, so I'm going to separate species the best I can. I don't know if these are incompatible or not, but no chances. All right, you are going to be a golden girl. We need 1 more, I believe. Yeah, to max that out. And the wolves. Okay, so one of you had to do some extra man attacking. But now I'm not feeling quite as pressured. I'm going to start getting that development bonus. These last long enough that they'll probably make use out of it. We could immediately breed these. What are we in? We're in July. Herb market. Okay, so it's going to be a really long time until March. March is the next time I can buy monsters. If my monsters die, we're going to be up a creek. We go to the hunter. Didn't they have a green? Okay, a swamp dragon egg. If this hatches out and is male, then we could use that to breed with our Reaper. Those are related species. I also really like green ants. 780. This shows male, but I don't know if that's actually. Do this all eggs? No, they don't. Oh. Somehow I know this is a male egg. I'm going to take that. And I think we're going to take the green ant. Buy it. All right. So in here, they're a hatching. Swamp dragon 6 turns. Woof. We do have a runestone. This because we finished our hatchling hut. So purity. So what this is going to do is it's going to cure abomination illness. I'm interested in actually giving them a potion. We could give it a strength potion. And we could do blood stuff. Okay, let's do... Oh, that's a taming potion, excuse me. Mammal blood. I believe mammal blood helps with the temperature tolerance. I don't remember what these other bloods technically do. Will it show me? I can't put those on yet because it's not hatched. Yeah, we didn't. Unfortunately, we were just so broke we couldn't get a magic scroll to pair with that, and we had to sell some of our potions, so that's a little unfortunate. All right, let's wait until it's hatched so I can see more of its stats. And I mean, there's no reason not to run the purity. It's not going to do anything at the moment, though. Okay, and I think that's going to be it for this first episode of Monster Breeder. Cute little game here, I have to say. Like, definitely one of those games that, like, you could tell this was somebody's passion project. It's like, I don't need a budget, I just need pure passion. I do like the game quite a lot. The price tag's a little high, I do feel. So maybe you can hold out for a sale if you're interested in this one. I think it was like 30 bucks on Steam. I would be a lot happier at 15, 20, I think. But either way, I've quite enjoyed the title, and hopefully you did too, and you'll come back and we can actually get into some more of the actual breeding process here. We've had an okay start. I think that we kind of got bummed on the starting monsters we could buy. Not being able to get a breeding pair of what I actually wanted kind of sucked. But we do have a pair of spotted wolves, so we can start with that, and we're gonna have a pair of lizards here in the near future. All right, if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave a like on the video. That helps YouTube out and kind of tells me what people are interested in. Comments too, if you have any questions or just some support, always appreciated. If you want to go above and beyond, you can always leave a super thanks, a super chat while I'm live, or become a member or patron. Those support is greatly appreciated. And if nothing else, if you're not a subscriber, I hope I have earned your subscription, checking out these niche games that hopefully some people will enjoy. All right, builders, get out there and start building your monster breeding keep, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Babble out.